Okay, so a few days ago, on June 16th, 343's community director, Sketch, put out a tweet that read, "Disappointing to see some insiders using racial slurs and attacking others in the flight. Not only will you be removed from the flight, you'll be banned from all future flights and will face consequences in the retail game too. Racism and bigotry have no place in Halo." Now, many people applauded this tweet. Yeah, let's fight racism. Racism bad. Look at me, everyone, I'm helping. But many of the people who opposed this tweet were met with comments along the lines of, "Oh, is it really that hard not to be racist?" Or, "Oh, if you have an issue with this tweet, then you're part of the problem." But here's the reason I don't like this tweet. First off, I get it. Racism bad. We all know this. Stop shoving it down our fucking throats. We get it. But what he's describing in this tweet falls under the category of censorship. I cannot stand censorship of speech and this whole cancel culture that is so popular nowadays. But my whole train of thought is, if people want to be assholes, let them be assholes. Let them expose themselves. Don't censor them, because when you censor these people, then you don't truly know what kind of a person they are. Like, if someone is truly racist, they're a racist person, they discriminate on others based on the color of their skin. Like, wouldn't you rather know that person is truly racist rather than them being a silent racist, a closet racist? Like, is it okay to be racist if you don't say racist things, if you don't express your racist feelings? Does that make it okay? Like, to me, it's a no-brainer. I much rather know a person is racist rather than not know. Like, if someone is genuinely a bad person, I much rather them express themselves in such a way rather than being a fake good person. Like, if someone is racist, let them be racist. Then they expose themselves. And threatening to ban people for things such as racism, that's not going to get rid of all the racists who play Halo. What it will most likely do is suppress and silence those who are truly racist. So now, rather than these racists being able to say whatever they want and exposing themselves, they stay silent. They're still there in the community, they're still playing Halo, but now they're hidden amongst everybody, and you don't know who's truly racist and who's not. Like, you get what I'm saying? I don't know about you, but I want people to be able to act and express themselves in an authentic way. Even if they're a shitty person. If they're a shitty person, I want to know that. If that shitty person is silenced and can't express their genuine thoughts and feelings, that doesn't make them a better person. They're still a shitty person, except now I don't know they're a shitty person. That's why I'm all for letting people say what the fuck they want to say. Let them expose themselves. But when you threaten people with bans for saying bad things, that's not getting rid of the racist, that's silencing the racists. Now, the fact that he even put this tweet out is really embarrassing, because he's threatening to issue bans to those who use racial slurs, and they don't even have, 343 doesn't even have a filter on the text chat in MCC. They don't even filter these words out. Like the N-word, there's no filter, it doesn't get blocked. So basically, in MCC's current state, people can say whatever they want in the text chat, but if you say certain things, you'll get banned you'll get removed from the flight, future flights, and face consequences in the retail game, which is way too harsh of a punishment. You know, it's like having a glitch in the game, and instead of 343 fixing the glitch, they say anyone who takes advantage of this exploit will be banned. That is basically the same thing as 343 banning people for using certain slurs rather than blocking those words. It's so pathetic. Like, how are you going to threaten to issue bans to these people when you don't even have an option in the game to enable or disable the text chat? Like, that's a real solution. That's something that should have been in the game when text chat was introduced to MCC. Like, that's something that should have been in the game when text chat was introduced to MCC. Give players the option to choose whether they want the text chat on or off. Also, if you don't want people using certain words, apply a filter to the text chat to filter these things out. Like, right now, people can just, you could say the N-word. No problem. You are able to say the N-word. in the text chat. They don't want people saying it, but you're allowed to say it. That word doesn't get blocked. That is incompetence. I don't think they know how to apply a filter to the fucking chat. They did it once before, but it was way too aggressive of a filter, and it was blocking all kinds of words and phrases. But you mean to tell me they're so against racism, and yet they don't have the N-word blocked right now in the text chat? What? 343, apply a filter to the chat if you don't want people using certain words. And 343 could either give players the option to enable or disable this filter, or they could just have it automatically applied to the text chat. I honestly would prefer 343 give players the option to enable or disable their chat, give players the option to turn the filter on or off. But even if the filter is automatically applied and you can't turn it off, that's still a much better solution than threatening to ban people for saying certain things and allowing them to say those things. That makes absolutely no sense. Now, of course, people would find ways around the filter. Certain words and phrases might slip by that the filter cannot detect. But still, a filter applied to the text chat would be way better than nothing. It just blows my mind that they're so against racism, and yet you can openly say the N-word in MCC's text chat right now without it getting blocked. Like, this is just laziness and incompetence on a whole nother level. Just block the word. But block that word. Give players the option to turn their chat on or off. But I don't think they know how to do it. I think they're having a really hard time. And like I mentioned, I am aware they applied a filter to the text chat in the past, but it was way too aggressive and it was blocking things that shouldn't even have been blocked. But even though they've already applied a filter to the text chat, I still think they're having a hard time doing it now. Like, just look at the push to talk option. In the Halo Reach PC flights, push to talk was not an option. You couldn't turn push to talk on. So everyone was hot micing. But when Halo Reach launched on PC, it did have a push to talk option. They added the option to the game. But you couldn't turn it off, and you couldn't rebind it to another key on your keyboard. For the longest time, it took them forever to allow us to rebind our push to talk key and to turn it off. Look how long it fucking took them to add that to the game. Push to talk. It took them that long to figure out push to talk. Again, this is incompetence on a whole other level. So it's pretty clear to me that they would like to apply a filter to their MCC text chat. They would like to ban certain words, but they're just having a really hard time figuring it out. And also, let's be real for a second. Just because someone uses the N-word in a text chat doesn't mean they're actually racist. Odds are they're not racist. They're just trying to get a rise out of people. I mean, I think most of us should understand that. People throw that word around all the time just to get a reaction, and that's all it is. Like, you know how people will donate to Twitch streamers who have their text-to-speech on, and they'll slip the N-word in there somewhere, and then it says the N-word on stream, and then the streamer reacts, oh my god, no. People are just trying to get a reaction. They may not truly be racist. Like, I'm not racist, but if I say the N-word right now, does that make me racist? No. And another thing that I want to touch on real quick is just how vague this tweet actually is. I'll read it again. Disappointing to see some insiders using racial slurs and attacking other players in the flight. Not only will you be removed from the flight, you'll be banned from all future flights and will face consequences in the retail game too. Racism and bigotry have no place in Halo. Okay, well, first off, bigotry, so many different things could be considered bigotry. A lot of harmless things could be considered bigotry. And racism. What exactly are we considering racist? Because I think the definition of racism for some people has changed over the years. People are falsely accused of being racist all the goddamn time nowadays. Like, if you're going to start issuing bans to people for their speech that you don't approve of, I think we need to be a little more clear as to what is a bannable offense. I also think there should be a message when people get on the game. When people hop on MCC, they should be greeted with a message that lays out all the new terms. Like, I think it's really important that everyone is made aware that they can be removed from flights, banned from future flights, and face consequences in the retail game for saying things in the text chat that are not being blocked and that were allowed to be said without consequences in the past. Because what this tweet tells me is that you can be banned for whatever 343 considers racist behavior or bigotry. And again, what exactly are we talking about? So many things can be considered bigotry. It's so fucking vague. And racism. What are we considering racism? Like, first off, using the N-word. Like I said, I don't think most people who use this word are truly racist. I think they're just looking for a reaction. But I understand not wanting people to use the N-word in your text chat. Okay then, block the fucking word. And what if someone is talking shit to someone in the text chat? You know, your typical video game trash talk. If I call someone a piece of shit and that person happens to be a person of color, does that make it racist? I've seen people who say all lives matter get accused of being racist. Is that racist behavior? And are we only banning racism directed towards a specific race, or is this all races included? I mean, because nowadays it seems like it's okay to talk shit about white people. It seems like that's perfectly fine. If I type in the text chat, I'm so proud to be white, is that racist? Because if someone says, I'm so proud to be black, most people don't look at that as racism at all. But if I say it as a white person, is that racism? We need to be clear on this. Someone says black power in the text chat. Is that racist? Okay, well, how about white power? Is that racist? I feel like there's going to be so many double standards with this shit. And this is obviously much bigger than just Halo or the Halo community. This is something that occurs within the world in general. So again, if we're going to start issuing bans for this shit, people need to be made aware, and you need to be a lot more clear as to what we're considering racism and bigotry. Or, you could just apply a filter to the text chat and give players the option to enable or disable the chat. That might help. That might do a little good. I don't know. Like, it's absolutely crazy that people can't turn the text chat off. People stream, and people can openly say the N-word in the text chat while they're streaming. Like, what? This is fucking crazy, man. This is crazy. So against racism, and you can openly say the N-word in their text chat. Can't even turn the text chat off. Incredible. Incredible. 343 has a really tough time polishing things. Like, they might port Halo games to PC, but they're broken. We got the text chat, which is cool, but you can't turn it off. And you can say whatever you want. Well, those are my thoughts on this tweet. I wanted to make this video back when he put this tweet out, but I was busy. He says racism and bigotry have no place in Halo. Well, censorship should have no place in Halo. Again, just let people say whatever they want to say. Who the fuck cares? Who really gets offended by words? You get offended by a word? But let me make it real clear that I completely understand why 343 doesn't want people using certain words or phrases on their game. I get that completely. But how are you going to put out a statement that is so vague and unclear and then threaten to issue bans? Like, it literally says some insiders using racial slurs and attacking other players in the flight. Not only will you be removed from the flight, but you'll be banned from future flights and face consequences in the retail game. Attacking other players? Attacking other players? What exactly does that mean? Like, that is so fucking vague. Like, does that include talking shit? Is that considered attacking people? This is so fucking pathetic. Fuck censorship, fuck cancel culture. And again, how are you going to threaten people with a ban for using racial slurs when you don't even have a filter applied to your text chat? People don't even have the option to turn it off. The N-word is not a blocked word. That's insanity. Policing speech is not abolishing racism. It might suppress and silence the racist, but then we don't know who the racists are. How is that better? And also, I think it's kind of strange how this tweet is mainly talking about racism. Like, I'm sure people are going to start being banned for using the N-word and other things that are considered racist. But I can think of countless different things that could be said that aren't racist, but are way worse than someone saying the N-word. I don't really feel comfortable giving examples as to what those things are, but I'm sure you can imagine. Like if I say something really bad about someone's family or their kids or something along those lines, does that get banned? Or is it just racism? I mean, he does say attacking other players, which so many different things could be considered attacking other players. It's so pathetic that we've actually gotten to this point. Fuck policing speech, fuck censorship, and cancel culture. I'm sure I'm probably going to get some comments along the lines of, oh look, somebody's mad they can't be racist anymore. And if that's what you took away from this video, then you've completely missed the point. I think it should be real clear that I am not praising racism and supporting racists. Not at all. I just think there's going to be a lot of double standards and it's so goddamn vague. Well, that's going to just about do it for this one. Those are my thoughts. Whether you're someone who supported this tweet or you had a problem with it, I think both of those people probably are on the same page. You probably agree on a lot of things. Fuck racism, right? But I think where the disagreement comes from is how 343 is going to handle this. So yeah, that's going to do it. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.